There's Leighton Orient versus West Brom match still to come after today's main game. We can go back to St James's Park now for today's team news and join our commentators, who are Jack Charlton, and first, good afternoon to Brian Moore.
Hello, Saint. The teams then: Newcastle, a change where the Czech Pavel Černiček comes in. Number 2, Barry Vinison. 3, John Beresford. 4, Liam O'Brien. 5, Kevin Scott. 6, Stephen Howie. 7, Franz Carr. 8, Gavin Peacock. 9, David Kelly. 10, Lee Clark. And 11, Kevin Sheedy. Well, this is Lee is injured. Carr playing down the right. The formation does not change, and neither does the fact that O'Brien and Clark are main factors in the midfield, and Peacock once more a fine young partner for Kelly in attack. Well, let's look at the Swindon side then, with Nicky Hammond in goal. 2 is the former QPR man David Kerslake. 3, the ex-West Ham youngster Kevin Horlock. 4, Glenn Hoddle himself. 5, Colin Calderwood. 6, Sean Taylor. 7, Mickey Hazard, ex-Spurs and Chelsea, of course. 8, Nick Summerby. 9, the top scorer Craig Maskell. 10, Martin Ling. And 11, David Mitchell. Hoddle plays an influential role, more or less as a sweeper, spare man at the back. Calderwood and Taylor close by. Hazard brings good vision to the midfield, providing the bullets for Maskell and for Mitchell. The referee is Trevor West from Hull, the first time he's been in charge of a game here at St James's Park. Just to tell you the substitutes for Newcastle are Brian Kilcline and Mick Quinn, and for Swindon are Steve White and Austin Buckley. Well, it's Newcastle win the First Division Championship at the end of this season. I no doubt they'll regard Wednesday's victory at Birmingham as something of a milestone. It halted that run of 3 defeats, and it stifled any growing self-doubt. Similarly, I suppose they would regard a victory here today against Swindon as a consolidation of that wonderful start of theirs to the season. 17 games without defeat. The Magpies would then firmly be back on the track. Referee Trevor West from Hull ran the line here 5 years ago. For the first time he's been in the middle here. Big crowd again at St James's Park, close to the capacity of 30,000, with a lot of noise, a genuine, almost cup-tie atmosphere, as the team first in the First Division takes on the team Swindon Town, lying at this moment 3rd. Craig Maskell there, the number 9, a leading scorer with 13, and away we go. Comes to Sean Taylor, a long ball forward now. Forward again there by Howie. O'Brien. And a foul there by Hoddle on O'Brien, which provides a free kick for Newcastle United. Might be Sheedy's range, although Liam O'Brien packs one hell of a wallop. Peacock just off the Swindon wall. It's O'Brien, but hits it straight into that wall of red. Comes to young Lee Clark. Kicked away quickly here by Kerslake, who claims he was obstructed by Beresford. Kevin Scott knocking it forwards. And Calderwood getting it away. Teams wearing black armbands this afternoon as a mark of respect on Remembrance Sunday, of course, and also the death in the last week of the former Newcastle chairman Stan Seymour. Ling not quite able to get hold of that one. Howie for Newcastle. Hazard hustled off the ball, and I suppose Newcastle realised that Hazard is one man that can create havoc through those midfield areas and needs to be closed down so quickly. There's his free kick, Beautiful to Kerslake on the far side. Inside to the number 8, Summerby. Another Swindon throw. A busy start, Jack Charlton.
Well, it's an interesting start. I'm just really looking at the pattern of the players and seeing where they are at the moment and see how they're playing.
Scott. Askell trying to turn it away. And Ling almost with a chance of side-footing that one in for Swindon. And instead of that, it's Newcastle springing on the attack with Franz Carr. One out of pitch, and a throw to Swindon.
I'm not sure about the Newcastle lineup in this one. They're playing Gavin Peacock up front, and he's a much better player when he comes from midfield. Normally they would have Mick Quinn there alongside David Kelly. But Lee Clark going forward and Gavin Peacock on the ball is really very hard to pick up when they run from midfield. We'll have to see how it goes.
Colin Calderwood with the clearance for Swindon. A throw to Newcastle United. Swindon guided by Hoddle, of course. A mixture of good technique and certainly an ability to look after themselves. Although they've leaked goals quite consistently this season, they've scored 22. Coming to this game 9 points behind Newcastle. If Newcastle win, of course, they go 11 points ahead of Tranmere, who at this moment are in second place. A win or a draw would put Swindon into second place themselves. Nicky Hammond with a goal kick for Swindon. Jumped there by Mitchell. Hoddle with a lovely little bit of skill on his chest, a little touching the ball off to Kerslake, although Kerslake was given very little time and room there by Sheedy. A free kick for Swindon. Up towards Mitchell. And Beresford gets it away. It's long by Sheedy. Cut out again here by Hoddle. Knocked forward by him. To Summerby. This to Ling with a shot. Ling shot, clearing the goal with a good deal to spare. Carr. Peacock. Foul on him. Well, exactly. The referee was in two minds there, and Newcastle almost conned him into thinking that they'd taken it, when in fact they hadn't, and then suddenly he came to his senses and blew up again, and Newcastle now have to take a more orthodox free kick.
There was actually no reason for the referee to change his mind there. Newcastle had taken it virtually from the right position.
Hammond gathering up that one. Former Arsenal apprentice, this goalkeeper, 25 years old. Went on a free to Swindon Town back in 1987. Sheedy touching it wide for Beresford. Scott. Calderwood. Hoddle to Hazard. Straight to Calderwood again. Summerby giving it away this time to Clark. Here come Newcastle again. Towards Kelly. And now Peacock trying to keep this move going. Plays it now for O'Brien. A little chip through. Sheedy's on the end of it. Good save. That dangerous left foot of Kevin Sheedy's.
I thought Kevin would have done a bit better there. He's perfect in this sort of situations. When he comes to a ball that's unnaturally onto his left foot, the time to see it and strike it, and didn't really hit it as well as he can. He's normally pretty lethal in those situations.
Still a good save by the keeper. Good reaction save, Jack.
Well, it was a near post shot. I mean, he covers a near post and he would be expected to stop that one. It was really power that would have beaten him, and there wasn't enough power on the shot.
In the meantime, it's Kerslake for Swindon. Well, Summerby. And Mitchell was waiting in the middle. In the end, it was Scott who got it away. A slight confusion there between centre-back and goalkeeper, but Scott took the initiative and away he went with it. Here's again, Kevin Scott. Bryan. A little fortunate to get that through Mitchell's legs. Back to Liam O'Brien. Now Barry Venison. To Carr. Clark. Venison again. They won't clear Hoddle though. But dispossessed by Kelly. Clark taking it up again. And against the post! Well, Newcastle so close. And Swindon now breaking out with Hazard leading the way for them. Ling's gone on ahead. Mitchell's in there as well. Hazard again and saved by the keeper. Great stuff here at St James's Park.
Tremendous game. It started at a great pace. Both teams are really... There's a lot of room in midfield on the break, and Newcastle had an opportunity there. Hit the post, narrowly rebounded into midfield. Plenty of room for the Swindon players to come at the Newcastle defence, and it's gone from end to end, from start to finish. I hope it stays like this. Great.
They're playing handball. Actually, Horlock a little unfortunate there. But the kick's been given. Franz Carr now. He's tricked the full-back. Hoddle with a header. It was Hoddle's mistake in the first place that suddenly allowed Newcastle that strike with the shot that ended against the post. Well, the team at the top against the team that's third, and the match at the moment leaving up to that filling. Mitchell. Scott gets it back to the goalkeeper. He's in trouble for a moment there, was Cernicek. Summerby. And again Summerby. Well stopped by Scott. So 10 minutes of the first half gone. And it's Newcastle 0, Swindon 0. But a riveting first 10 minutes to this game at St James's Park. And both sides really turning on the style here. Here's Hazard. A lot of skill through that midfield. Peacock trying to get back at him. Hazard holding him off. The ball comes through to Maskell, but there was a foul on Mickey Hazard. And it'll be a free kick. To be taken by Kevin Horlock, maybe. Hazard's there too. Hoddle inviting one of them to take it. It's going to be Horlock. Driven well and caught well by Cernicek.
We haven't seen much of this goalkeeper Cernicek in Newcastle. Tommy Wright's been playing extremely well, and he's never really had a chance. He came here and he wasn't impressive, but he's handled the ball he's had to do up to the moment quite well. Let's hope he sticks that way.
Here's Maskell. Knock towards Mitchell on the far side. Tommy Wright out with a thigh injury that he received at Birmingham in midweek, and will be out for 3 weeks. So Cernicek, a Czech under 21 from Baník Ostrava, which is the club, of course, that West Ham's Ludo Miklosko came from. They're great buddies. 24 years old, this Czech goalkeeper, getting his first league game of the season for Newcastle, now facing this corner. Peacock with a header. Comes back in again. Ling. Oh, misunderstanding. Newcastle on the break. 3 against 1. It's been Carr who's got plenty of pace. Gone past his man. Plays it in. Ducks away superbly. Sheedy got on the end of that one. So close to the opening goal there. And the drills continue here at St James's Park as Horlock gets it back to goalkeeper Nicky Hammond. Here's Carr on the ball, Jack.
He did very well, Carr, here. He just made enough space, and everybody thought he'd go for the shot, but he squared it back. And that was when, was it Kevin?
I think it was Sheedy, yes.
Kevin Sheedy came on his right foot, of course, which wasn't very good. If it had stayed down, it was a goal. It just hit the centre-back, stood on the goal line.
You can't believe this one's going to finish 0-0.
No, it's very open and very wide at the moment, and it's looking the sort of game that people like to see on television. Not too much competition in midfield.
Here's Ling. Play for Hazard. Maskell up ahead of him. Maskell. Mitchell's made a little dart towards him as well. This is Mitchell taking it from Hazard. Gets it back to Hazard as well. Kerslake on the far side. The fullback. Slows down well by Scott. Gets a hitter in as well. Releases it for Sheedy. Oh, and a rare bad ball there by Sheedy. Picked up by Ling. Now Horlock for Swindon in the red strip. Mitchell trying to get away from Venison. Play on, said the referee. It's with Hazard. Lovely skills here at the moment. And just at that moment, Summerby couldn't quite hold it. Scott got it away. Calderwood now for Swindon to Hoddle. Knocked forward again towards Mitchell, but he looked, in fact, dangerously offside there, and the header back by Venison provides Swindon with a corner.
Swindon are quite impressive in the way they keep the ball flowing. The one touch is very good, and they keep the ball free all the time. Mickey Hazard's had a tremendous amount of room in midfield, and he's been able to settle on the ball, find himself into the space, and keep bringing other people into the game. Newcastle are really going to have to close him down a little bit. You can't allow a player like Mickey Hazard to see what he wants to hit.
Well, it's Hazard now taking this corner for Newcastle. Sean Taylor's gone close to him for the short one, but now has decided to go into the middle. So Taylor's in there, Hoddle's right in there too, Calderwood's up there too. The big men are up from the back. Well, he got a fist to that one, none too convincingly, and has gone down injured, the Czech goalkeeper Cernicek. So Newcastle are having problems with injuries to keepers. Tommy Wright at Birmingham on Wednesday night, and Cernicek here.
If it runs true to continental goalkeepers, he'll be on his feet in a couple of minutes and he'll be playing. He got himself in a bad position there. He got himself standing flat-footed on the line to a ball that was going to be in, swung into the bar, and he invited people to come and clatter him, and they did.
But Newcastle have the free kick. It's not a corner after all to Swindon. So Cernicek. There we are, Jack.
Yes.
That's the moment you're talking
See
about.
where he got himself in a dreadful position. If it hadn't been for his defenders, it would have been a goal, that. He would never have got it. He'll be okay. He'll get up. He was looking into his eyes and saying, "What's my name? What's my name?" And he was saying, "I don't remember."
He's had trouble learning the language, apparently, so I've been told by one of the officials here today, but he's getting to grips with it now.
See, I told you he was all right. Yeah. He looked as if he was out like a light, and he wasn't really.
Just past the 15-minute mark. 0-0 if you just joined us here in this game at the top of the first division of the Barclays League. Newcastle in their famous stripes, 0. Swindon in the all-red strip, 0. Ling to Hoddle. Plays a lovely ball in there for Mitchell. Picks out Kerslake, the full-back on the far side, used to be with Queen's Park Rangers. Going round, Sheedy. And a shot, and just wide of the goal. Now, whether the keeper or a defender got a touch on that one, well, the keeper's smiling. It was Maskell on the turn, the man who's already hit 13 goals this season.
There was a lot of room for this player. When this ball was played in, he had a lot of room just to stop the ball and see what he wanted to do. And you can't give people around. He saved it, actually.
Saved it.
You can't give him that sort of room to stop the ball, turn, look, and have a shot.
Pushed that one away. That looked catchable, actually, but he punched it away to be sure. And in fact, the save he made a moment ago from Maskell was probably an even better one, Jack, because it took a nasty little deflection on its way to it.
It did, and he was going the wrong way. And he stuck a left arm out, hit the left arm, and it could have gone anywhere, and it happened to go past the post. So it's a bit fortunate there, but it was a good save.
So a corner again. And, Taylor was right in there for that one. In the end, Newcastle happy to get it away with Gavin Peacock's clearance into touch. Hoddle. O'Brien. Venison. Up to Peacock. To Horlock. To Ling. Free kick to Swindon for the foul on Martin Ling by Lee Clark.
Newcastle have done very well this year, Brian. But the fact that they've kept hustling people in midfield, but they're finding it difficult against Swindon because they're keeping the ball free and they're keeping it going between players. And it means that you'll get tackles like that where people are just an instant late and the ball's gone.
Well, one of the midfielders in question, Jack's talking about the number 7, Mickey Hazard, about to take this free kick. Very deep one there, and the keeper came a long way and only really poured it away. It wasn't a convincing punch at all. Summerby playing it into Maskell. Played again for Ling. The shot just wide, but they're really impressive at the moment, Swindon.
They're keeping Newcastle off balance by the way they're passing the ball about, and every time they get a chance to have a shot, there's no Newcastle player really convincingly coming to the man on the ball, and they've actually given room to settle and see, and they're lucky they've got away with it.
Maskell.
Possibly the two most influential players on the field at the moment are the two fullbacks, Kerslake and Horlock. Is it? Horlock.
Yeah, Kerslake and Horlock.
Yeah, Kerslake and Horlock. They're coming into the game all the time on the right side and left side. And Swindon are changing the ball about, and they're always coming into the game. And it's given them two extra men in midfield.
Well, here's a fullback now for Newcastle. Barry Fennison getting it up to Franz Carr. Nicked into Clark. Back to Venison once more. Played into Carr. Delicate little touch there for Lee Clark. Little challenge by Horlock. Back to Hoddle. Into Ling. Pass cut out by Sheedy. Then he hits one straight to Taylor. Here's Hoddle again. One of those characteristic long balls of Hoddle, getting Mitchell chasing it. And Harry responding well to Newcastle. The ball hit long, an offside flag up, possibly against Gavin Peacock, and a free kick to Swindon Town. Hoddle with the kick. And very un-Hoddle like it was. Glenn Hoddle, who was named Barclays Bank Manager of the Month for the First Division for October. Out of play, a throw to Newcastle. John Beresford with it. Sheedy, Clark. O'Brien brings it away. Finds Venison, and a foul there by the number 8, Nick Summerby, on Liam O'Brien after the ball had been played.
I saw the incident, but I didn't think it was that bad, actually. He's going to get a yellow card for it. I'd like to see the incident again because I thought Liam just dwelt on the ball a little before he played it, and oh, that was a bad foul. Oh, yes. His dad would be proud of that one. His dad is sat in the stand behind us, actually, Mick Summerby. I was talking to Mick there. And he could handle himself.
Indeed he could. So Beresford with the kick. Hazard with the header. Young Lee Clark. Venison to Carr. O'Brien. Finding Kelly. Good anticipation by the Swindon keeper, though. And some good build-up again by Newcastle, involving Kelly and O'Brien's break from the midfield. And suddenly the break is on at the other end, but that pass will go into touch before Maskell can get to it.
Lee Clark's having a little bit difficulty getting into this game at the moment. He's having to play in midfield, and he's not doing the runs forward that make Newcastle tick. He's there supporting this one at the moment, but he's having to do too much work picking players up.
Hammond gets it away. Beresford. O'Brien. Still 0-0. Mitchell. Oh, he nearly forced it through to Maskell.
Swindon are playing a very nice offside game, and they're catching particularly Gavin Peacock offside all the time. Gavin's normally used to playing in midfield and operating behind the front too. And at the moment he's playing up front and he's getting caught offside quite often. When you play two flat players up front, if one comes to the ball, the other one stays where he is, he's offside. Because you just step up and play him that way. So it's always when they put Mickey Quinn up there, sometimes Mickey operates on his own. And that helps, because then it gives people a chance to run into situations.
Mitchell versus Venison. And a foul. Oh, well, that's interesting. Linesman flagging one way, referee deciding it's the other. So it's a free kick to Swindon. Foul then by Barry Venison on David Mitchell. Mitchell, the number 11, who had a little spell up on loan here at Newcastle when he was a Chelsea player. Played just a couple of games for the Magpies. The Swindon number 11. Here's Fowler. Delicate little touch again. Finds Martin Ling. Shown too much of that to Scott, but they might still keep it going. It's with Hazard. Now with Hoddle, down he goes. Play on, says the referee. Swept wide this time to Kerslake. Here's his long cross to check the handling again of Cernicek. Taylor's header, and won by Venison. And now here's Carr. Took his eye off it for a moment. It's a Swindon throw. They're not making much progress down this right flank at all, Newcastle, at the moment with defence car, Jack, are they?
Not very much. Franz is playing wide on the line, but he's really not having a chance to have a go at anybody. He's playing little balls back to the fullback, little balls inside, and hoping to get him back, but he's not really going down the flank with any conviction. And if they're going to make him effective, they've got to play the ball in behind the fullback. And there's room there because both fullbacks of Swindon are pushing right up into the game.
The one occasion he did, he got in behind him and pulled a very good one back for Sheedy, didn't he?
That was the one round the edge of the 18-yard box. Nothing wide on the line.
That's right. It's a free kick then to Swindon, which Mick Hazard will take. No, it's going to be Kevin Horlock instead. Towards Mitchell. Good save, but the whistle had gone.
Well, that's a surprise to me. I don't see anything wrong in that one.
Nope.
I thought he should have scored.
Well, Newcastle aren't waiting to argue.
There it is. No, you tell me something that was wrong in there. I didn't say anything.
No, neither did I, Jack. It's Beresford on the far side now for he said Portsmouth, his old club, for Newcastle. Hollywood. Good example as sticker at the back was Hollywood, and some good play there by Hazard. Picked up here by Ling, who's got Horlock away on the left, making the point again that Jack was saying a bit earlier on the way. The fullbacks are coming into it so well, and here is Horlock. Played inside. It's time for Maskell. Trying to earn himself a yard, does so, slips it in there, knocked away by Howie. Taylor. Carr takes possession. Well, O'Brien, in fact, in the end. Clark.
So that's a situation where Lee Clark was on the ball again there. He's getting tied down with too many players around him. He's not being allowed to run into his situation.
Kerslake on the break. And a free kick given to Swindon. Presumably a foul by Kevin Scott.
I fear for Newcastle at this moment. I'm looking at the boy David Mitchell. Actually, before you mentioned him before, I was thinking to myself, he's either a Geordie come again, wants to fight for everything.
Over the top.
Wants to fight for everything, or he's got some debt to pay back to Newcastle, but he's really putting himself about the front. And then when you suddenly mentioned that he actually had a spell here when he was at Chelsea with Newcastle, I thought, it's the way things come to him.
Indeed. He's certainly not a Geordie. In fact, he's born in Australia, born in Glasgow, and played for Australia. David Mitchell, one of those football happy wanderers. He's played in Germany for Cologne and for Glasgow Rangers. He's played in Holland with Feyenoord, Chelsea, Newcastle, and now with Swindon. Hoddle with a little touch. Just wonder what Kevin Keegan's thoughts must be at the moment, Jack.
Kevin will be thinking at the moment that I've got too many players up front and not enough competition across midfield. He really should be looking. I would have brought Gavin Peacock out of it and played him in midfield and let David Kelly operate along the front line in his own and run from midfield, because they're very square Swindon and there's nobody. They're not really getting in the back of them. If they do get in the back, one of them are offside.
Coming towards 29 minutes, still Newcastle United 0, Swindon 0. Hazard to Horlock. Getting past Franz Carr, although Carr snapping back at him, and in the end it was Venison who came in and completed the challenge. Ling just getting it back. Taylor playing it in. Maskell. Up goes Hazard, but it's O'Brien winning the header. Kelly can't make any progress there for Newcastle. Hazard trying to play it in. Scott stopping Mitchell in his stride. Beresford turning nicely away from Mitchell. A foul on Peacock by Colin Calderwood. Newcastle's free kick. Clark to Peacock. Scored both home and away, Peacock, last season in these matches against Swindon. Clark playing it in. Taylor getting it away.
See, that's exactly the sort of situation that Lee Clark is great in. Little runs in behind people.
Here he is again on the ball, playing it this time to Beresford. Beresford now to Sheedy, that famous left foot of his again. Horlock with a header away, only as far as O'Brien. Here's Kelly, back again for O'Brien. A great save! A super save by Nicky Hammond. O'Brien so dangerous from that sort of distance outside the box. He hit such a good ball. And that was going forcefully just inside the post until the intervention there from the 25-year-old Swindon goalkeeper. Good save, Jack. Great save. It was a good little move by two Irish international players, David Kelly and Liam O'Brien. And O'Brien. He strikes a lovely ball, Liam, when he gets in that situation. In the meantime, it's Ling. Here's Hollow's team putting some stuff together themselves, and then in getting a free kick for the foul on Craig Maskell. John Gorman, right-hand man of Ben Hoddles at Swindon. Hazard with the free kick, straight to the keeper.
Now, lovely free kicks that Mickey Hazard's taken. Balls that swinging in towards the goalkeeper, that commit him to coming out and wait for it. And if people get across the front of the goalkeeper and just little deflections, they'll score goals. Right. The guy there ran about 2 yards too quick. But the lovely balls. Mickey's certainly the outstanding player in this game up to now.
Well, I should tell you, you do have to choose for us the man of the match later on.
Well, he's got it up to now, Brian.
Sheedy. Beresford. Flick on by Peacock. Hoddle. Ling. Hazard. And Benison there before Horlock. It's a defensive system that Swindon seem very comfortable with, don't they, with their two big defenders, Calderwood and Taylor, and Hoddle there working in between them, Jack.
They push a lot of people up front very quickly, and then Mickey Hazard finds himself a bit of room in midfield, and then suddenly the fullbacks will split wide on the line, and he's got loads of room to knock the ball to him. And it's a very good ploy, and they're both very good crosses of the ball as well.
Hazard now finding Kerslake. Into Maskell. Now for Hoddle. Chipped back there by him. And the header by Mitchell. Mitchell fighting for that ball, but it falls for Lee Clark. And the offside flag pulls Franz Carr back, but the referee quite rightly allows the game to go on. Hazard hitting a long ball. The flag has stayed down this time. And Cernicek gets it away coolly to Beresford. Look, a suspicion of offside, I have to say, about the Swindon player there taking that ball from Hazard.
Now, I thought he timed his run exactly right.
Beg his pardon, Jack.
Ball travelled a long way, and he moved 3 or 4 yards, but he was onside when the ball was played.
Here's Carr. Oh, Mickey Hazard, Kevin Horlock, up to Mitchell. Back for Ling. Look at the play they're putting together now. Hoddle. Now what sort of pass? Just a simple one this time, bringing Kerslake into it. Maskell's gone up ahead of him, but Kerslake's pass was mistimed. A super move there with a lot of skill to it from Swindon. Good stop by Hoddle. Here's Ling. Maskell's on the far side. And Beresford somehow chested that down. Swindon thought for a moment it came off his hand, but the referee was well positioned, said no, it didn't, off his chest. So we've now 35 minutes of the game gone, 10 minutes of the first half left, still 0-0. Franz Carr playing it in, Hoddle stopping it. Clark. O'Brien. Beresford. Up towards Peacock. Here's Ling bringing it away again. Gets through a lot of work through that midfield as this number 10, Martin Ling. Hazard. A little chip by him, catches Maskell offside.
They're a bit lightweight up front, Newcastle, with the two, with David Kelly and Gavin Peacock. Any crosses are never going to get anywhere near, really, because there's neither are very powerful in the air.
Hoddle. Touch to his captain, Calderwood. Newcastle fans irate there. They felt that was a Newcastle throw.
Well, Newcastle fans actually don't like it when you penalise them for going into a tackle, because one thing the Geordies love are people who go into the tackle wholeheartedly. Whether they get the ball or not is of no consequence, but they like to see it. And he challenged hard there, and he didn't get away with it.
Swindon free kick, and it eventually goes behind for the goal kick.
But Newcastle really got problems across midfield in this game. Young Lee Clark is not making the runs that make Newcastle tick in this game. And if he does go there and the ball doesn't get served properly for him and it comes back into midfield, they're very thin there, and Swindon are breaking on them very well.
Peacock. There's leg. Peacock again, dispossessed by Hazard. Here's Clark. O'Brien. Might be a little bit beyond his range there, so he plays it to Beresford instead. Peacock trying to get in there. Good touch there by Mitchell. Played back again by Ling. Mitchell, well, he was certainly onside. It was Maskell who must have strayed a yard offside.
Well, there's a difference when you play two players up front. When you only play one player up front and you get a run from midfield like that. Maskell stayed offside. If he had come to the ball, then the run through from midfield was on. And it was a good run and he would have been completely clear. But Maskell just stayed offside.
Down towards the Clark. Look at Hoddle's skill again. Here he is, springing forward to take that ball from Maskell, playing it in again towards Mitchell. Mitchell jumped over that one thinking that Maskell was going to be behind him, but it was Venison instead. Franz Carr trying to trick his way past Horlock, supported here by Clark as Newcastle come forward again, being chased by Ling. Gets it back to Venison. Sheedy's come towards him. O'Brien is here in this dangerous position just outside the penalty area again. Swindon have got plenty back. It's with Venison now. No foul. Kelly went tumbling. The referee put his hands instantly behind his back. No thought of a penalty in his mind. Chested down there by Mitchell. Here come Newcastle again. A spell of pressure from them as Carr tries to take on Horlock. Not a very good ball there by Venison, but Newcastle keep possession with Clark onto the left foot.
A bit of sustained pressure there by Newcastle. It's interesting to look at Franz Carr on the outside right position. He plays balls back to the fullback and then he looks for balls in behind the bulwark from that position. He's not getting them. At times, Newcastle are looking for him to start running early so they can play balls into the space. But he doesn't want to do that. He wants the ball to feet. And as long as he keeps persisting in this, he's not going to cause really Swindon any problems at all.
Throw to Newcastle on the far side. John Beresford with it. But a game that's worthy of two sides near the top of the First Division. Joe.
Very good. There's some good stuff being played here.
Here's Venison. Down the line to Carr. Horlock's after him. Carr's tricked him. Gets the cross in. Beresford trying to keep it going. Sheedy played for O'Brien. Wide again for Carr, who started it all off in the first place. He's got that bit of pace on him. And it goes for the corner. It came off Kerslake. But there were problems there for Swindon. Twice the making of Franz Carr. Two good runs, two good crosses. Get the corner, which Sheedy will take. Now, can Newcastle make this pay? Oh, Howie went in there, and it was a super challenge by Calderwood. Just putting the defender off. Stephen Howie, who began life as a forward, converted last season to a central defender.
He's one of the outstanding young lads at Newcastle, actually. He's come on a ton this year. Last year he was a little bit raw, but this year he's really, he knows how to do the job now, and he's been a great help to Kevin Scott.
Still only 21 years old, Stephen Howie.
We call him Young Howie up here.
Young Howie. Maskell caught well offside there.
Now you see a forward runner, when he stands along the line, can't turn and run for a ball because he's only got to move half a yard and he's offside. It's the man from midfield that will eventually score the goal here today if it's for Swindon. It won't be the one that's running.
Kerslake into Hazard. Glorious ball again by Hazard. Horlock, and played in quickly by him, but a little too close to the keeper. Mitchell couldn't get on the end of that one. And a good throw out by Cernicek. Here's Beresford. That bouncing run of his to Peacock. Heading round, Calderwood did well there. A shot on the turn, and Swindon escaped there. Clark seemed to stub his toe. Kelly couldn't get a touch on it. Hubble pulled it away, and Swindon was safe. Benison. Clark. About 2 minutes to go to half-time now, and it's been a good spell for Newcastle, this. Benison. And again. It's the keeper's ball.
There's no real power in the air in there. Gavin managed to get a little hit on it, but it wasn't going anywhere.
Hoddle throwing it place to Beresford, then stopping it, getting it clear while he was on the ground. Scott knocking it in again. Here's Hoddle again, taking it on the chest, looking to see what's around and available. He finds Mick Hazard, who then gets caught, gets it back again, shielding it as best he can from the persistent attentions of Liam O'Brien. Good refereeing, keeps it going. It's a man's game. Well played.
Mickey did remarkably well to keep hold of that ball. They was under tremendous pressure for a few minutes, and he held it, kept them away from it.
What a great ball from Kerslake, one full back to the other. But then the challenge by Benison. The throw given Swindon's way. Hazard. A foul on Summerby and a free kick to Swindon. Will this be a chance for Hoddle, maybe?
It's nice to see players like Glenn Hoddle showing a bit of skill at the back sometimes and then coming up to take free kicks like the way he can take them. I mean, it's a bit reminiscent of me and the skill used in the 18-yard box, you know. I mean, I love to see centre-backs do it, but I would hate to do it myself.
It's Hoddle and Hazard over the ball. It's Hoddle curling it. Well, he didn't even really curl it. Hit it straight into a wall. Hazard then hits it straight into the advertising boards, and it's a goal kick for Newcastle.
Well, we thought we'd get a few goals, Brian. We've seen a few chances made, and the goalkeeper's making a few good saves.
Correct.
And it's been a very open game. It would only take a few goals just to really liven this one up.
O'Brien for Beresford. Newcastle seeking that important breakthrough on the brink of half-time. Sheedy. Hazard getting across there. Newcastle fans thinking that Hazard threw that ball away. And he was dangerously close to doing that, actually. Here's Lee Clark. Calderwood did well. A little touch by Hazard. Played for Kerslake. There's so much skill right through this Swindon side, as we can see now as Ling takes it up with Mitchell on this side of the field. Plays it inside again for Horlock, and then stopped by Benison, but a foul by Kelly, and Kelly being called to referee West. Whether he can't hear the referee's whistles in this tremendous noise here at St James's Park, but before the free kick can be taken, David Kelly's got to come across and have a word with the referee.
Players do make silly remarks when they think they're getting away with the thing, or they've had an injustice done to them. David's lucky, really. A lot of referees would have just given him the yellow card and said, that's it, you've got away with it.
Well, let's see if Newcastle get away with this. A free kick right on the stroke of half-time. It's Hazard playing it into Huddle.
Now that was as nice a worked free kick as you'll ever see. Glenn Hoddle just clicked up a position, ball was going for a shot, played down the side of the wall, and if Glenn had connected properly, it would have been a goal.
Mitchell. Scott playing it in too far ahead of Peacock. Two minutes of stoppage time being added to the first 45 as Mitchell now battles for that ball against O'Brien. O'Brien then hits it straight at Ling. Howie to Sheedy. Away goes Peacock, away goes Kelly. And in goes Taylor for Swindon at the expense of a corner. Coming up to 3 minutes of time added on. Young Lee Clark with the shot, and Kerslake deflecting it behind for another corner. Newcastle fans roaring for a goal before half-time as Sheedy sets up another corner for Newcastle. Floated again, and the good safe handling by the keeper. Looked in very good form this afternoon again, Nicky Hammond.
He's been a very good keeper, actually. I like goalkeepers who don't stand on the goal line. He's really been a sweeper for them today. And he's come out and picked up balls that very quickly.
Half-time whistle then. We expected goals, but some excellent goalkeeping by both men, by Cernicek and by Hammond, and some excellent skillful play that's getting a wonderful round of applause from everybody here at St James's Park. The half-time situation then here in Newcastle is Newcastle United 0, Swindon Town 0.
You can use a rabbit phone wherever you see a rabbit sign.
So, Joey, did you do him good, like I said?
Sure, Mr. A.
And you tied him up?
That's right.
To Paris, London or Rome.
The American Express Blue Box means the card is welcome all around the world, which could be just around the corner.
But it's so much nicer, yes, it's so much nicer to come home.
So if you want a world of choice right here at home, look out for the American Express Blue Box. It's always a good sign.
The latest Black & Decker hammer drill is a little different. It's got a powerful double-level hammer action, 2-speed gearbox, and variable speed for screwdriving. But the real difference is this hammer drill is cordless. Black & Decker. In cordless technology, we have the lead.
Now you can take draft bass home without spilling it.
It's the way we make you feel that makes people fly British Airways. The world's favourite airline.
From Kentucky Fried Chicken, the variety meal. Regular fries, 2 pieces of chicken and 3 hot wings. Only $2.99.
Fool's Gold next Saturday, 9:05.
Well, no goals at Newcastle, but a super game, Mick, isn't it?
Terrific game, yeah. It's one of those 0-0 games that everybody's enjoying watching.
Because you think there's a goal is imminent, don't you? I mean, both sides have got, you know, great attacking players. The ball's flowing around. It looks good.
There's been a lot of chances, hasn't there? I know we're going to touch on a few, but there have been a lot of chances, and there've been some great football played.
Well, let's have a look first of all, because Newcastle started off very, very quickly, and Lee Clark had this shot that hit the post.
Yeah, well, Glenn was dispossessed there. I mean, he likes to play out at the back, but that's always a problem if you do get dispossessed. And Lee Clark goes through and hits the post with a great shot.
It was a real rasper, and you felt, funny enough, if they'd scored then, I mean, the crowd would have gone bonkers, and who knows what Swindon might have done.
Well, you always say when you go to Newcastle, you can weather the storm, and not just the storm from the players, from the crowd as well for 10 minutes.
Try to keep them a bit.
You've got a chance. If you give them a goal in 5 or 10 minutes, you've got a big problem.
Well, they nearly got another one when Kevin Sheedy had an effort cleared off the line. You can maybe see that now. And again, you see, it was another intercept, another bad pass, as it were, trying to play with maybe too much football.
Yeah, Franz Carr does very well here, actually. He's not been in the game a lot, but when he has got in the game, he's caused them problems. It's a great cutback here. And Sheeds, well, it's his right foot, as Jack said. So, but that's great defending. Jack said just hit him on the head. I have to disagree with him. It was a great defending ahead of that.
That's right. As a defender yourself, I mean, it's your job to get round behind the goalkeeper if you're
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, that was it. But at the other end, I mean, we've had some nice attacks from Swindon.
Well, Swindon have played very well. I know I've tipped Newcastle to win, but Swindon have looked the favourites here in the first half. He's got a lot of room here in the box. I mean, Kevin Keegan won't be too happy about that. This is a magnificent save because he took a deflection on the way in there.
It was. You've not been too impressed with the goalkeeper, really. He's come out and flapped it a couple of times.
Well, Jack said about him being typically perhaps Eastern European. Yeah. I don't think he got clattered. I think he was feeling sorry for himself because he missed the cross. That happened about a minute afterwards, and he made a great save. So he certainly wasn't feeling dizzy, was he?
No. Well, down at the other end, from one goalkeeper to another, Nicky Hammond had a fantastic save.
Nicky Hammond's impressed me. I've played against him last season. He's played against us this season. I've watched him, and he's been superb. Now, that's a great save because it's come through a ruck of players, and I think he must have seen it late. That's a terrific save, that.
Well, we're getting the good thing about this game, and we were getting shots on target. I mean, the goalkeepers have been busy, which always indicates it's a good game.
They've had a bit of work to do, haven't they? Swindon have played the better football. They've created the chances, where Newcastle have got chances out of Swindon making a bad pass, which is always going to happen. If you close people down quickly and hurry them out of the passing movement, they'll get chances. But Newcastle need to step up a gear, I think, or Swindon could nick this.
I think the experienced fellas, you know, Hoddle and Hazard, are running the game, aren't they?
Well, Hoddle and Hazard, obviously, they're exceptional players. Hazard plays in that hole, they play that diamond shape, and they've not come to grips with it, Newcastle, at all. Franz Carr's staying wide on the right. He's not coming in and helping Liam O'Brien. Kevin Sheedy's tucking in a bit more, and really that's not Kevin's game. So Liam O'Brien's chasing shadows in there. And you could see just towards the end of the first half, Newcastle were getting very frustrated, lunging in at tackles.
Well, we'll see what happens in the second half. We'll take a quick break now, but stay with us for more action shortly. Well, welcome back. We can go up to St James's Park now because Jim Rosenthal has Nicky Summerby's daddy with him, Michael. Jim.
Indeed, I do say Mike Summerby is with me. The team's just coming on. Mike, what have you made of the first half? Not a bad one for Swindon.
No, very entertaining. They're creating the chances, Swindon. They're under a lot of pressure because Newcastle are attacking very quickly, but Swindon are playing the football, and they've created, 2 or 3 good opportunities, but I think it's going to be a good super second half. Swindon have got the slope with them now and the wind behind them, so I think they've got a bit of a chance.
Just a word about your boy. You got one off the line and got booked an eventful half.
Yeah, he's doing all right. He's got to get his first touch in the first couple of times once so good, but since then he's done reasonably well.
The boys are expecting goals in the second half. Are you?
Well, I am. Yeah, I think it's a game for goals anyway.
Okay, let's get back to our commentators. Thanks a lot, Mike. Thanks for joining us down here. Jackie Charlton, of course. First of all, it's Brian Moore.
Thank you, Jim. Here we go again then for the start of the second half. Newcastle get the game underway. 0-0 here. Good to see Mike Summerby looking really well. I remember Mike Summerby, I remember doing a commentary on him when he was a Swindon Town player himself, before he even went to Man City, Jack.
I don't remember those days, Brian. I only remember Mick kicking me when we played Manchester City.
Well, here come Newcastle. And Lee Clark playing it in towards Gavin Peacock. But Gets it away to Franz Carr. Little back heel there. Venison crossing it in towards Sheedy. Swindon get that one away. O'Brien playing it in for Sheedy again onto the right foot. Good save again, and the second half has started just the way the first half finished.
Kevin had a good opportunity there. He pulled the ball first onto his left side, and I thought he's going to crash this with his left foot. Just watch him here. Turns it nicely onto his left foot, and then decides to go on his right. What on earth did he do that for?
The left one is the one, isn't it?
That is, with Kevin, certainly.
Beresford knocking it forward again. Peacock trying to turn away from Taylor. Runs for Hazard. Being hustled there by O'Brien. And two Swindon players getting a little in each other's way there, providing Newcastle United with the throw. O'Brien. Peacock and Kelly waiting in the middle. Here's Clark. Got Beresford available to him. John Beresford. Sheedy to Clark. Busying themselves on the edge of that Swindon Town penalty area. Playing it wide again towards Venison. Played in again, almost came through to Peacock, but Hoddle was the formidable barrier in the way, and a nice little bit of skill. Gets it away for Maskell. Down for Mitchell on this far side. And the ball played back with the goalkeeper, Pavel Cernicek. Sheedy. Hazard. Trying to get Summerby away down this flank. There's a foul by Summerby this time on the Newcastle defender. At least it's Kevin Sheedy who was defending at the time, and the free kick already taken. Clark. Ling trying to squirt it through towards Hazard, but instead through to Summerby. This time it's a Swindon ball.
For a big lad, Nick Summerby falls over very easily, doesn't he?
It's a free kick to Swindon. Nick Hazard with it. Taylor's up on the far side, has got his quota of goals this season. I'll have to watch this. It was fisted away again without great conviction there by Cernicek.
What is it to say Newcastle, like a big tart?
Summerby again. Newcastle get that one away, but Ling will keep this pressure on them. Hazard. Well, Beresford was quickly onto him. But Swindon get it back into that area once again. The linesman on this side flagging. And it'll be well, the referee hasn't spotted him, or if he has, he's played it on. Hammond out of his goal for Swindon. The sides with almost identical goal-scoring records, the linesman still flagging. Newcastle with 41 goals in 21 games, Swindon 41 goals in 20 games, so they're both averaging about 2 a game. But it still remains goalless here. A thrilling encounter at St James's Park. It's Barry Venison. Kicked into Lee Clark. Towards Sheedy. It's out of play. Beresford with the throw for Newcastle United. Beresford. He ran into Kerslake. The referee saw no obstruction there at all and has given the goal kick to Swindon Town, who lost here 3-1 last season, then beat Newcastle 2-1 when they went down to the county ground in Wiltshire. Mitchell. Sheedy for Newcastle. Peacock. Scott. Clark getting it down again for Peacock. Clark turning away nicely from Hazard. Finding Liam O'Brien with Franz Carr on that far side. He's got it to feet. He can take on Horlock. Can't get to the byline though, and Hazard can bring it away, slipping the little pass to Maskell. Hazard again. Maskell almost having his shirt pulled off there, I think, by Franz Carr. Benison. Here's Harry. Now Benison. Hit long towards Kelly. Hazard to Ling. Two up ahead of him. Maskell's on one side. Here's Summerby playing it now for Mitchell. Raises an arm as an apology there.
They play some lovely stuff, Swindon, through the midfield, and when they've got to the edge of the 18-yard line, they seem to stutter a little bit, and yet they've got enough players up there to do it better than they've been doing it.
This is Ling. It's Newcastle's ball now. Driving run again by Liam O'Brien. Sheedy. Beresford. Still Beresford. Red shirts surrounding him, but he finds Lee Clark played in again there. And they're in trouble here, but Hammond falls on the ball. Peacock was right in there. Kelly was right in there. But neither of them found the ball favourable just when they wanted it and couldn't quite find the little toe poke that could get it home for Newcastle.
This is a funny one for David. It's a great little cross from Lee, and he puts a lot of pace on the ball. David really should have hit it, but it hit him right where he didn't want it to hit him. And it was one of those, it was a goal. I mean, David goes for the header here. It's a goal. Then the centre-half didn't see it. He didn't do it in front of him.
So that's a throw on the far side for Newcastle. And I think Franz Carr, yes, will play it straight back to Nicky Hammond. Swindon having putting it into touch so that Kelly could get his treatment. In fact, he didn't need treatment in the end. Essex boy, Nicky Hammond, born in Hornchurch. Sheedy. Great ball, what a lovely ball to Carr. Kelly waiting in the middle, and so too was Calderwood. Benison. Sheedy. Slip down the left flank for him. Peacock up ahead of him. And here's Kerslake now for Swindon. Getting it forward to Mitchell. Can he? Yes, he gets it through on the far side to Maskell. Ling's gone outside. Still Maskell. The shot gets charged down and comes comfortably to the goalkeeper. Coming up to 10 minutes of the second half gone. Stays 0-0. There's trouble here. And Kelly looked as though he had to score. There was a total mess-up between the goalkeeper and Sean Taylor. It invited Kelly to put the ball almost into an empty net.
Just watch as Glenn didn't know where the goalkeeper was. And Kelly did exactly what he had to do. He had to hit the target. And unfortunately, it was that Hurlock came in the back and cleared it.
O'Brien with the shot. And tipped over by Hammond from Gavin Peacock. Now the Geordie voices, you can hear them. They feel that Newcastle, this could be the moment for them. They're putting on a lot of pressure in the opening minutes of this second half. Here you go again, Jack. A header by Peacock.
It was never going into the goal.
Floated in towards Scott there. Hammond fisting it away, not very far. Benison looking to return it. And a better ball, in fact, there from young Kevin Horlock. Might well have got Maskell away. It's a throw to Newcastle instead. 10 minutes of the second half gone now. Still 0-0. Now it's a Swindon throw.
Franz Carr obviously operates best when the ball changes from the left to the right and gives you room to pick it up and take it at the defender. When he sits along the touchline like that, there's very few places he can go.
Good skill by Hazard. Here's Ling making the break again for Swindon. Picking up Mickey Hazard. Mitchell's waiting in the middle, and Ling puts it just wide.
What a lovely ball in by Mickey Hazard then. He started the move off, he followed Ling's run, picked the ball up on the right-hand side, and just look here at the ball he plays in. It's a beautiful ball, and it's a side footer into the net, and the boy made a mess of it.
But a great move right the way through, from back through to front, Jack.
Lovely. Started by Mickey and finished.
Venison. O'Brien. You can't believe it's still 0-0, but it is. Howie. Some delightful stuff being played. Simple passing, played accurately. It's a passing game, and both Newcastle and Swindon have proved the points conclusively here again this afternoon. Beresford. Ling again, the little touch for Hazard. Hazard a quick turn, and the little ball now for Kerslake. Clark takes it off him. O'Brien sprays it wide now for Beresford. Hit long there, but it should be a keeper's ball. There was an infringement, presumably an offside. A Swindon free kick quickly taken. Hazard then threading the ball between Franz Carr and the defender. Mitchell. Orlock. Mitchell tried to turn, was caught there by the challenge of Howie, and Howie's being called to the referee. It's a free kick in any case to Swindon.
It's in one of those bad positions. I think you might see Glenn Hubble have a little poke at this one.
And a booking for the number 6, Stephen Howie.
He was a little bit late in his tackle. I don't think Kevin will complain about the yellow card for that one. Hard when the ball's played up the centre forwards and the ball's out to sea.
And Mitchell had turned so quickly and well, hasn't he?
If he can't let him turn, and he's got to play the ball, and the ball gets nipped away just as you've committed yourself to the tackle. There's about 100th of a second in it. And suddenly the ball's gone, but you've got the player. Now, if you get the ball and the player, it's a good tackle. He's a bit unlucky, Howie, because he's a good player, and he's not that much experience at centre-back and how to handle situations like that. But he's coming on.
Well, Mitchell looks as though he's okay to get, well, I don't know. He's wobbling a bit there. This is the lad born in Scotland, played for Australia and has played right across Europe. And now he's taking up his position. Who's going to be behind this one, do you think? Mickey Hazard's in there.
Well, if they show any imagination like they did on the last free kick, we'll see something a bit special because they look good at it.
Driven too high. Mickey Summerby. And Newcastle in the meantime, as we see this replay again of a free kick that was always going over the Newcastle crossbar. Scott. Hazard again. Lovely little touch again. Played by Summerby for Hoddle. Here's Ling. Back to Hoddle again. Quite clearing Kelly, but still gets to David Kerslake. No foul. Kerslake made a meal of that, said the referee, and he might well have been right. Ling comes in. Balls for O'Brien. Sheedy. And now Beresford. Hit long towards Peacock. Dispossessed, well, I thought he was, by Hazard. In the end, it'll probably be a drop ball.
There's a situation there when the ball was going to be played in, Brian, where Newcastle actually had 4 players along the line, all in a line.
Here's Peacock. Summerby bringing it away. Getting the ball forward to Mitchell. Mitchell Dumped to the ground again, that time by Kevin Scott. And Mitchell going into Scott there. That's a little bit of retribution, I think. That probably came as a result of the tackle by Scott on Mitchell just a moment or two before. It's got Keegan and McDermott off their seats at any rate. And I think for David Mitchell it might well be a yellow card. But I think probably the big number 11 felt that he was harshly dealt with.
Well,
yes, it was a silly challenge.
He got the wrong one. It was Howie that kicked him. If he's going to kick anybody,
yeah, but he was, yes. But then just before that, I think Scott also had a little go at him.
Did he? I must have missed that one. But he's got a yellow card, deservedly so.
Yeah,
deliberate.
Well, here is Scott. Now Howie. Up to Clark. Played it for Venison. Forward to Kelly. It's Carr on the far side now. Looking to get to the byline. Still kept in play. Sheedy trying to get back. Summerby. And this time Scott having a go at Mitchell. So that's a little confrontation we probably need to keep our eyes on.
Yes, I think we could well do without it now, because it's been a very, very straightforward game. Everybody's competed well, competed fairly, and now we're getting little bits of niggle creeping into the game that will take from the game.
Kerslake.
He's a good player, that Kerslake. I like him. Very aware.
Oh, what a ball by Hoddle. Can Maskell get on the end of this? A little bit of vintage Hoddle there. Clark. A bit of vintage Hoddle there,
Yeah,
Jack.
beautiful through ball. Laid lovely for the guy, and he got in. All he had to do was turn the ball away from the keeper. He was half a yard short of pace and get in there, and the goalkeeper managed to get his knees to it and clear it. But it was a very, very good opportunity.
What a ball by Hazard too, putting Ling on his way. Maskell's through the middle as he got the pace. The keeper's coming out, taking control of that situation. And Hoddle now inviting his keeper to come back and handle the ball. Kerslake again. Had some 70 games at right back for Queen's Park Rangers. He's an England schoolboy international as well, David Kerslake. Here he is on the ball now, the number 2. Up to Hoddle, taken on the chest in almost imperious fashion, but then gave the ball away. And here comes Newcastle again. It's Gavin Peacock for them. Tipped away by Nicky Hammond. Just got a touch on it. Whether he needed to or not, I don't know, but he just got a touch on it.
He got a touch on it. I think the ball was going wide anyway. But when he came in here, Gavin Peacock, he'd made up his mind he was going to have a shot, and it's a dreadful angle to have a shot from. In those situations, I think Newcastle have looked better when they've come out of that situation and laid them back to the edge of the box for Liam O'Brien coming onto them. And there was room there to do that.
Right. It's a corner which Sheedy will take. Get it away. Up as far as Venison. Knocked back by him very quickly. Comes to Lee Clark. And now to Sheedy again. This could be dangerous for Swindon. And Peacock tried a shot basically over his shoulder, but there was an offside as well. And it'll be a free kick to Swindon.
I couldn't really see where there was an offside there unless it was from the shot that went in, because it was a ball that was pulled back by Kevin Sheedy.
And certainly not from where Nicky Hammond was placing the ball there.
Not where he's placing the ball now.
Well, we're playing up towards 20 minutes now, the second half. Kerslake playing it in for Ling. Nice little drag back by him. Sprays the ball wide here for Summerby. Worked all sorts of miracles up here in the last few months. Just wonders whether his side has got a goal somewhere in the locker this afternoon. Kevin Keegan. Here's Ling. Ling playing it inside for Hoddle. Oh, caught again, Glenn Hoddle. And now it's Sheedy taking it up. The long ball forwards. Calderwood's trying to get back. That was a handball by somebody, by David Kelly. And a deliberate handball as well. Whether the referee will want to have a word with him about that, I don't know. But
now, if the defender had done that, he would have got sent off the park.
Absolutely, Jeff.
Yeah, David Kelly does it to gain an advantage and gets away with it.
Right.
And he's already had a booking, I think, in the game, or a talking to by the ref, and the referee's done nothing on that one. Now, that's cheating as much one way as it is the other.
Quite agree.
I cannot understand why they get away with things like that.
By O'Brien, Maskell taking it up, Ling playing it through, Somerby is offside.
Sometimes Liam O'Brien, like that, can be very lapsadaisical in situations. He's in a bad position to lose the ball, and he goes for a half-hearted chest down and a little flick, and he loses control of it. And it was a half a yard in there, or he could have put his team down.
Absolutely.
He's with us, and we've had Liam a long time, and that's one of the things we notice in his game. But he needs to get out of it.
O'Brien. Venison. Clark. Venison. Played in again. Stopped beautifully there by Hoddle. Played by him accurately up to Mitchell. Oh, he almost got that into the path of Ling. Instead of that, it falls for Beresford. Peacock turning. O'Brien. This time it'll come for Horlock. Played in by Maskell to Mitchell. In now for Hazard. Still with Hazard. But in the end, Beresford, he missed the first challenge on Hazard, but got in the second time.
That was a lovely again by Mickey Hazard. He nutmegged the player going one way and tried to nutmeg him coming back the other. And if he had got away with it, it would have been the goal of the season.
Well, instead of that, Newcastle were looking for that in the shape of Franz Carr on the far side. Again, taking on Kevin Horlock. And has got beyond him once or twice to the byline, has done it again. But Ling will get it away. High towards Mitchell, but Scott with the header that time for Newcastle. Beresford in for Lee Clark. Here's Sheedy. Slanting that cross in towards Kelly. Halfway through the second half now, still 0-0 here.
I've got a feeling somewhere along the line we're going to see Mickey Queen on this park. David's getting very little on balls that are played into him. He's changing the direction of nothing. And you need a centre forward when balls are played in like that, at least to get a head on the ball to make it go somewhere else.
There's the man.
And I think Mickey may just be called upon before the end of this game.
Taylor. Sheedy stabbing it with the outside of the boot there, almost getting it through to Peacock, but again making the point that Jack's made already, that Peacock wasn't really strong enough in the air to be able to do anything much with that. And it's Somerby now coming away, swinging that cross in for Swindon. Foul on Nicky Somerby.
I'll tell you something about Newcastle that didn't happen last year, Brian. The young centre-backs and the people that played at centre-back never picked up their positions early enough. They never got back into position, turned round, knew where they were. But in this game, they've shown that they've learned a lot from that. And I watched them there very particularly when Somerby made the break and he was going to play the ball in. They were already back, turned round and waiting for the cross. And that is very important in centre-back play.
So it's Hazard with the free kick for Swindon. Curled in there, fisted away by the keeper. Comes out as far as Martin Ling. Beresford with a header for Newcastle. Now Horlock playing it in. Maskell claiming he was balked there by the defender, or at least by Kevin Sheedy in a defensive position. Quinn and Kilcline both still warming up for Newcastle. Venison. Clark. Hoddle read that well. Given away by Franz Carr. Mitchell playing it forward. I don't think Maskell's got the pace to get there. Beresford. O'Brien. O'Brien's header. And now Benison. Into the space, found there by Lee Clark. Tried to cross the ball in. The Newcastle fans on the far side claim that hit a Swindon hand, but the referee didn't want any of that. Benison keeps it going, finds Lee Clark. Time it's Sean Taylor gets it away for Swindon. Beresford again, good pressure here from Newcastle, but really without so far the finishing touch. And the challenge there by Calderwood was an excellent one. Played back for Kerslake. Beresford playing it in. Liam O'Brien now. Bringing in Barry Benison. In now for Kelly! Good save again by the keeper.
Now that's the sort of ball they've got to be playing Newcastle for people like David Kelly. David's not a good player when he's got his back to the play, but you give him somewhere to run to, and he made an excellent run here through into here, and he just got the ball and turned it, and that's where David gets his goals. Now if you put Lee Clark in that sort of position as well, he gets a lot of goals for Newcastle in exactly the same way. But we've seen very little of that from Newcastle in this game.
Calderwood playing it to Hazard, a lovely little touch. What about this for play again? Hazard getting it through, but it's played too firmly that time by Mitchell. Hello, Cernicek's having a bit of fun in his own right. Gets it back, well he can try again. This time Mitchell was far too close to him for any repeat of that performance.
In this game, Brian, Cernicek has got away with it. Last year he didn't, and he made a real fool of himself a few times here.
Benison delaying the taking of this throw, quite illegal, because I think it's Howe is just putting his boot on.
I've actually saw a game at Chelsea yesterday where the referee stopped the game and allowed a player to put his boot on.
Well, that's happening here now, look.
Well, why not? I mean, he's always got to do is add a few minutes onto the game.
But why stop the play? Why don't we go on? They don't have to. I mean, that's Newcastle's problem, Jack.
Well, the ball was out of play. A few seconds didn't do any harm to anybody.
Ling. Hazard. Picking up Mitchell. Offside flag, yes.
That's the instance I said. When you've got two forward players, one turns and runs and he's offside, and that was Gavin Peacock.
Well, this game
and he turned and he was onside, but David Kelly was offside, so the linesman puts his flag up.
Hoddle to Hazard. Well, that brings a memory back, doesn't it? Hoddle to Hazard. Mosley. It's time for Ling. Touch there. Ling playing it in again. Well, Mitchell was right in there. Didn't quite get above it enough.
Lovely little bit of play. If you like skill, a nice little back heel just to release Ling to put in a lovely cross. A little bit too much pace on it, a little bit too much height, and the centre forward couldn't get it down.
But it's certainly a game that we hoped it would be, and more, Jack. It's a super exhibition, isn't it? Here come Newcastle, stopped by Swindon. Just said that, Hoddle does that.
It's a game that well, it was on his left foot, Glenn, actually, and he's not noted for his long passes with his left foot.
What you're going to say? It's a game what?
It's a game that has been a lot of commitment in, and nobody's shirked an inch, and there's been a great pace, and there's been a great deal of skill played at very high pace, and that augurs well for the two teams.
Peacock dispossessed. Hoddle, then Carr. Hoddle going in again. Franz Carr over there. Hoddle looking to time his tackle. Hoddle and Hazard bringing a fair amount of experience there to that situation. And then Hoddle, or rather Hazard, puts it behind, of all things, clumsily for the corner to Newcastle. It's already been taken. Crossed in, knocked away, up towards Maskell. Benison. Still 0-0 with a quarter of an hour of the game left. O'Brien, that's a dangerous ball. Oh! Now, Beresford running straight into Kerslake, and I've no doubt that Mr. West is going to want some serious words with the left back of Newcastle United.
Strange enough, if that situation had happened in the other half of the field, it would have been considered again a goal-scoring opportunity. And that was definitely a goal-scoring opportunity because there was no Newcastle player back and there was a player going to run all the way the length of the field. Now, whether he would have done it from that distance, who knows? But he's lucky. The way referees are refereeing at the moment, he was lucky.
Free kick to Swindon. Hoddle. Ling gets it back to Hoddle. Lost control there for a moment, Glenn Hoddle. Well, Brian now finds Carr. Cuts inside Mitchell. Up to Clark. A little too close to O'Brien. He had to stab his pass through there towards Peacock. Calling for the goalkeeper to come out, but he was a little slow to come out. And in the end, Kerslake can bring it away, which probably was the safer thing to do. And a throw to Swindon Town. Summerby, a little back header towards Maskell. Scott getting it away. Sean Taylor. Off Venison for the throw to Swindon Town.
He's played very well today, Gary Venison. Done nothing outstanding, but done everything he should do exactly right.
Maskell turning well. No, pass not likely to reach Hazard. And suddenly Calderwood's got to backpedal in the face of the challenge from Gavin Peacock. Hammond then plays it where he knows it's safe for a Newcastle throw. Now it's with Sheedy. It's played in towards O'Brien, but O'Brien really made something of that. And Swindon can bring it away again. Hoddle with that long ball. How he would get there before Maskell. Taylor up to Maskell once again. The top scorer with 13 this season, Craig Maskell. Dispossessed there by Franz Carr. Maskell gets it back again. No foul, said the referee. But the ball to somebody wasn't a good one. Hazard can pick it up though.
It's amazing with good players like Mickey Hazard, how they can find and make themselves room to play.
Edison versus Mitchell, that's probably a free kick. No, it's a free kick Newcastle's way. Already taken by Venison. About 11 minutes of the game left, still 0-0.
You shouldn't have said those nice things about Gary Venison. He's just dropped them all in the cart there.
Stayed in play. I certainly should have said anything about this will not be a goalless draw, Jack.
Yeah.
But, Sheedy, what a ball that was.
Newcastle can still win this one. And lose it, of course.
Beresford. Peacock waiting in the middle. Kelly's in there too. But the foul by Kerslake. And a free kick to Newcastle. That's the replay coming up, Jack.
Yes, he was lucky. He'd actually run himself into trouble there, and it was again a situation where Newcastle got a lot of players in the 18-yard box, and he lost the ball there, and it was a good break on by Swindon, and he was very fortunate to be given the ball back.
Beresford, free kick. Still in there, and in the end the keeper fell on it.
The only time they've really threatened Newcastle when any cross has gone in this game is when they've had the big centre-backs up who have been up to compete for it. The David Kellys and the Peacocks have not really done anything up there.
Ling. Kelly stopped in his tracks. A good challenge from Taylor. Hazard caught in possession. That hasn't happened very often. Hoddle, Hazard, Ling. Hoddle. Scott with the header, knocking it sideways to Beresford. 5 minutes of the game left, no, 10 minutes of the game left. Peacock. A little under 10 minutes, actually. It's just about 9 now. With Sheedy taking this throw for Newcastle. Beresford going around Maskell. Ling, who got a foot to it. Mark playing it in for Scott. Mitchell's coming after him. And suddenly Swindon can break away with Mickey Hazard. There's a lovely ball by Hazard now for Maskell. Mitchell's gone through the middle as well. Ling's on the far side. And the challenge from Howie was a good one. And Summerby's shot well wide.
Like I say, Swindon have had so much good possession through midfield on the break. Mickey's played some lovely balls to the forward players who have run into good positions, but they've never really carried it on from there. And they really should have done better, Swindon, in some of the possession they've had. Newcastle, on the other hand, have had a battle against really a lot of players at the back, and they've not really played as well.
Here's Carr getting in. Good play again by Hammond. Great anticipation there by the Swindon goalkeeper when Franz Carr was through, Jack.
Yes, he did, yeah. I thought Franz could have done better on this one, because he actually, if you watch him here, he gets to the ball first, and he didn't knock it hard enough away from the goalkeeper to get himself clear.
It's Ling now for Swindon. Up to O'Brien. Clark, stopped by Hoddle. Summerby. Oh, that's a delightful ball by Summerby if Kerslake can get on the end of it. Senichek's throw, finding Beresford's. Sheedy, left foot of his, head of Hoddle. Clearance by Calderwood, perhaps. No, plays it for Hoddle again. A delicate little touch there. Delightful. Hazard. Maskell. He's got past his man. He's got Mitchell waiting in the middle. And Horlock was right in there too. And Swindon was so close to snatching it there with 6 minutes of the game left. Now Taylor's got to hold up Franz Carr as Newcastle come back. Mark. Benison. In comes Kerslake, hammers it away, brings a bit of respite. Hoddle. Knocked forward by Ling. Senichek's clearance. Time for Kerslake to control it, play it forward to Maskell. Knocks it in for Mitchell, gets it back for Maskell. Mitchell's gone on the run again. Summerby's in there too. This is a good run by O'Brien. How can he finish it off? He's onto that right foot. It was deflected wide by a defender, and so it's a corner. A great run though by O'Brien, and you really felt that he was onto something there when he pulled that right foot back.
He just made himself enough room here to have a little look. If you see him here, just have a little look at his shot. His angle wasn't very good in the first case, but it was a good angle there to shoot from. Very unfortunately in there.
A corner then for Newcastle United. Scott's at the near post. Coming out for it now. Summerby. Now the play.
When you look at it, we haven't had any goals, Brian, but really, in a game like this, no team deserves to lose it, really, do they? Swindon have done very, very well in front of a very hostile crowd here and played some great football. I think on balance, maybe they've had the best chances.
Swindon, in fact, have made a substitution very quickly while the play was at the other end there. Steve White is now on in place of Maskell. Here's Hazard. Little touch by him, and it's caught offside against Mitchell. Oh, away goes Franz Carr, but Taylor's there for Swindon. There's Steve White on. 33-year-old striker with 3 goals to his credit this season. So booze for the decision of TV to make.
Well, that's what Newcastle. That's what Newcastle fans are all about.
That was certainly your choice, Big John.
Yes, certainly.
Free kick to Newcastle.
Certainly Mickey Hazard. And the Newcastle crowd booed when he was announced, but they know deep in their hearts that he's the one that's caused them the most trouble in this game.
But they might yet have a hero of their own.
I hope so.
Here's Sheedy with the free kick. Floated in there towards Scott, but too high for him, and a goal kick for Swindon. And on my watch, here coming to the last 2 minutes of the game.
I can never understand Big Scotty when he comes up. He comes up and takes up positions on the edge of the 6-yard box, and then he has to take a standing start if he has to jump the ball to get it. I've always said to him, why don't you put yourself 5 or 7 yards away from where you want to actually head it? You get a run at it, and you can get a bit more height on him. But he never seems to be able to twig.
Well, we've been saying it for quite a few weeks now, Jack. There's been some excellent football played in the first division, what is now the first division of the Barclays League, and this today really proves that point, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Sheedy knocking it forward. Kelly with his head down. And the header goes back, and Hammond gets hold of it.
Well, I'm very surprised at Kevin, actually. He's left the team exactly alone, and maybe he's right. Maybe, well, you've got a result, leave it alone, don't change anything. They don't really need to win this game, not desperately, but they don't want to lose it.
Certainly if Swindon can hold on to this goalless draw, they go into second place, but they're looking for more than that as Steve White comes on. He's shrugged off the ball there by Venison. Clark gets it back. Howie. A minute of the game left now.
I think I might have made a substitution there. I think Franz Carr done very little in this second half at all. Been a passenger up the right-hand side of the field, crossed very little. First half, he had a couple of nice little runs and made some nice crosses. But as there's nobody there to get on the end of the crosses, I didn't see any real point in it.
Here's Hazard. Kersley. Hazard. Knocks it back. Calderwood, the long ball forward. Summerby's trying to get on the end of this one. And Scott came in very positively for Newcastle, gets the ball away, only as far as Kersley. Played in again for Hazard, played back by him to Hoddle. Hoddle getting the ball into the path of Ling here. Martin Ling going on the outside of Venison. Can he finish it off? He can't, because Venison had rounded on him and just cut down that shot. And it'll be a corner for Swindon. They're playing time added on at the end of 90 minutes now.
Newcastle lost the game against Grimsby in the last few minutes of the game.
Well,
They might be just reminded of that. They might be thinking about it now.
Floated in. Taylor with the header. And he's weighed in already with 6 goals this season from just that sort of situation. And one of the Newcastle men down injured at the moment. But he is so dangerous from that sort of position is the West Countryman Sean Taylor.
You sometimes get away with that ploy late in the game. When you've played a lot of crosses on in-swingers, and then suddenly you change it and play an out-swinger, people tend to go back into the 6-yard box, and the centre-back coming in late gets in headers like that. And had he hit that target there, you know, it might have just took the game away from Newcastle. Because it was certainly a good opportunity and a good position for to head the ball from.
Well, it was Howie who was injured, but he's okay, I'm happy to say now. It's a goal kick for Newcastle United. Strong header again. Newcastle coming back. Beresford hitting it towards Kelly. Calderwood's looking around to see whether Hammond is around, and then knocks it back to where he knows it's safe. Deep now into time added on as Beresford takes the throw for Newcastle. Clark in for Sheedy. Taken off him by Ling. A corner now at the other end. Well, we were talking about Newcastle having it snatched from them by Grimsby in the last moment. Maybe they can do that sort of thing now on Swindon. Sheedy with the corner for them. Scott again at the near post. Peacock, Carr hovering. Kelly's in there as well, of course. But the Swindon players were lining up to get a header onto that one. And then the linesman flagging in any case for an infringement. It'll be a free kick to Swindon town. They say it's a handball, Swindon.
It was a handball, whether it was deliberate or not, it's another matter. But he stopped the play, and I should think the referee will blow his whistle for time any second. And we finished up with a 0-0 draw in a game that's been very, very interesting. Some terrific play, some good chances, some good goalkeeping.
And that comes from a man who's not very easy to please, Jack, but I mean, it really has. It's been a very, very satisfying afternoon.
Well, listen to the crowd. I mean, that's Newcastle supporters, and they've dropped the point, but they've enjoyed the game. And look at them, they're all standing up, clapping and appreciating the effort that the lads have put in there today. And there's been a tremendous amount of effort. I've seen Newcastle play better. They missed little Lee Clark because they never really got him running forward into positions from midfield.
And Swindon from their part, Jack. Swindon are a credit to Glenn Hoddle and look as though they are going to test quite a few teams at the top of the First Division.
I was talking to a guy about Swindon, and he was saying that they play better away from home because it sort of suits their style of play. And you can see the way they can counter-attack, win balls in midfield, get people running. I think they might have done better. They've had some good movements going for them, and they've never finished them off properly. But you can see the threat that would be away from home. Sometimes when you play at home and you get too much attacking in the opposition half the field, you don't get that much of an opportunity to play the sort of game that suits your style. But little Mickey, great game.
Mickey Hazard was back to the form that Spurs and Chelsea fans know so well, and here is the man of the match talking to Jim Rosenthal.
Mike Hazard, a lot of smiles as the Swindon players came off. You must be well pleased with that.
Yeah, we're delighted with the draw. We thought we could have won the game. We had chances to win it, but they had chances as well. But overall, I thought a draw was a fair result.
Now, we've seen you around London, we've seen you for Spurs, we've seen you for Chelsea. You're really enjoying your game at the moment, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, we're playing in a team that's playing non-stop football, and it's great to be part of it. And all credit to every one of the boys today. They all got the ball down, played the game the way it should be played.
Do you think, on reflection, bearing in mind the amount of possession you had, you might see it as a couple of points lost rather than one gained?
Well, yeah, but I mean, not many teams will come to Newcastle and get a draw, and at the end of the day, it could be a point won.
What do you feel, though, about coming to this sort of environment? I mean, it's a heck of a place in the northeast, as you well know, born in Sunderland.
Well, it's wonderful. I mean, it's lovely to play in atmosphere as this. I mean, they're booing me now. It's lovely. I love it. By the way, can I say hello to my two boys, Ricky and Tony? Hello.
You've just done it anyway, and I'm going to say it. You're going to take that back to them tonight. The Barclays man of the match. Well done from us all in the London match. Smashing performance. Let's get back to the Saint in the studio. Thanks, Mick.
Thank you very much, Jim. Right, well, still